Welcome back. This is Tony with YORUBADE, a channel focused on business and economics in West Africa. If this is your first time on the channel, definitely check out my other videos. And if you are a return viewer, I appreciate you supporting this channel. So for this video, I'm going to talk about an article that I came across from somebody I actually joined her program before. So her name is Harnett, Dr. Harnett. That's usually how I refer to her as, and basically she has a training course that talks about imports and exports and how to do business in Africa. So she was interviewed, and the interviewer was just asking her questions about the mistakes that a lot of people in the diaspora make when they're trying to do business in Africa. So I'm going to share it with you all, and hopefully you all can learn a lot of some good things from this video. So I'm going to go ahead and transition it. So 7 mistakes the African diaspora make when starting a business in Africa. And this is her name. I can't pronounce her last name, but Bokrezion. Yeah, so that's the best I can do. But if you search her on YouTube, then you're gonna see her channel, and she has a lot of good videos, and she really tries to get people to focus in on how to properly do business in different regions of Africa. So she's from Rwanda, and is the founder of African Business Academy, and she has also developed a training program on how to start businesses by importing and selling African products in the global market. In this article, she looks at common mistakes the African diaspora make when doing business in Africa or investing on the continent. So the first thing she puts here, emotional decision making, and this is what I've seen so many times. I've heard, like, just through conversation, people that want to do business in Africa, and I mean, it's all emotion, really. They're not really thinking about the risk. They're just saying, okay, I got family land and I want to go ahead and do it. And I mean, I can understand the sentiment, but that's not how you get into business. This is how you lose your money. And here she talks about it. Maybe you have a family in a certain country in Africa that you have received your DNA results as an African American. Maybe you have a family in a certain country in Africa, but the country of origin is not necessarily the best market for your industry. In fact, it may even be a country where doing business is not to be advised at all because the market is simply too risky. Many of you in the African diaspora are basing your business decisions on emotional connections in Africa, being an uncle in Uganda who sent you business ideas on WhatsApp, a contact you met on a plane to Johannesburg, or a young guy you stumbled across in Nairobi who needs your help and in return promises support. Working with thousands of ambitious people in the diaspora, I have seen too many fail and lose money as a result of such emotions. Instead, make informed professional business decisions. Check the business environment of the country, assess the market opportunity objectively. This is really important, objectively, and only deal with partners who are already in your industry. All right, so and this I highlight objectively because a lot of people, when the emotion gets involved, it's more this is where you start seeing people not think things all the way through. So because they're excited, they want to do something, they want to help, and they just forego a lot of just the fundamental rules of just doing business, especially if you're doing it in another country that you're not familiar with. You don't live there, you don't have that much experience being over there. You got to be really in tune with how your market is and what's expected as far as business transactions in that country. So I'm glad she pointed this out here. I've seen it myself just with conversations that I'll have with people. I've been a part of some groups. I forgot what's that app. I don't use it anymore, but let me get you that. Oh, Clubhouse. I've heard people in Clubhouse rooms that talk about, like, this one person, he quit his job, never been to, I forgot which country he was trying to go to. I think it was Senegal or something. But he quit his job, and then he was going to relocate to Senegal in a month. Never been there. And he was on the platform asking people for tips on what industry to get into. Just doesn't make any sense. So so there you go. So that's the first one that she talks about. Number 2, choosing the wrong country. I divide Africa into 4 categories based on risk and opportunity ratio in a given country. There are high risk markets which are also high in opportunity. Then there are high risk markets that are low in opportunity. You better stay away from those. And of course, there are low risk markets which are low in opportunity. Some of Africa's islands, for example, fall in that category. The best countries in Africa to get started are hands down those falling into the low risk, high opportunity category. So obviously that's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, that's always going to be the ideal situation where you want to do business where there's low risk and high reward. So that's just easy, simple. But yeah, choosing the right country. So this is why I made those economic case studies on all the West African countries, all the ECOWAS countries. It's so you get about a better understanding of what the country needs, what they're looking for. I even talked about investment opportunities in those countries, and then you could go in. So it's not just about understanding the business industry that you want to be into, that you want to get into. You also have to understand the environment. And since Africa is like the last frontier, you really need to be careful because I mean, when you think about it, a lot of these countries are like 60 years old. They got their independence in 1960, so they're pretty unstable. It can fluctuate, especially dealing with debt. So you need to understand just the profile of the country that you're going into. All the countries are not the same. All of them are not poor. All of them are not well and doing rich. All of them are not resource packed like people might think. You really have to take time to understand the economics of every country, how they bring in revenue, what their expenses, what's their debt load like, what's the disparity between the rich and the poor in each country. You want to understand a lot of this stuff so that you can start managing the risk accordingly, and you're coming in with a strategic approach. All right, so yeah, don't choose the wrong country. Number 3, juggling too many businesses. So once you have set foot into Africa, you will see a lot of opportunity left, right, and center. But starting a business is not easy, and starting a very profitable venture in the context of Africa is rarely achieved. When you now juggle 2 or even 3 ventures early on because you see low-hanging fruit in all of them, you significantly cut your chance to succeed. The same goes for offering too many products or services early on. Instead, simplify, focus, and build something of value that you will be known for. And I'll say this is one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of new entrepreneurs, novice entrepreneurs make. They get into so many different areas. They're so interested in so many, like entrepreneurs, we have so many ideas that we want to try. And unfortunately, a lot of entrepreneurs haven't built up that discipline yet. So this is just really the key, the trick to, if you want to be successful in business, focus on one thing. Or if it's going to be 2 or something like that, it has to be really related. Like, it has to make sense. But focus on one thing. Don't do a business here, then a complete opposite business here. It's going to be too much because you're gonna end up half-assing on both because attention can only go to one thing. So focus on one thing. Don't be going around like. So when I first went to Nigeria, I went with a group, and I remember I was taking down notes, all the opportunities, all the business. I mean, just things to that are needed and can be profitable. And I remember I had to sit down and really think, like, look, this is just too many ideas. I need to focus on one. I eventually did, but just starting with, you just want to perfect one, and then you grow and expand. That's what you do. Perfect one business model, and then you can replicate it, and then you can bring people on your team and do what you need to do, and then you can expand. But doing everything all at once is gonna mess you up. So number 4, not understanding or assessing risks. Hands down, I hardly know any new business owner in Africa who has done a quick risk assessment when getting started. Most new entrepreneurs in Africa overestimate opportunity and underestimate risk. But Africa is an emerging market by and large, which means it's very volatile. Not understanding, assessing, and actively reducing your risk is a big mistake that could cost you dearly. And I'll say, just from my own research, and like I said earlier, when it comes to the country's profile, you need to understand, have a good, excellent understanding of how the people are in the country, how they operate, how they think, like what motivates people to do things. Not necessarily buy your products, but when it comes to crime. When you have police officers always asking for bribes, or politicians that always asking for bribes, why are they doing this? Understanding, okay, it's their environment. So all this stuff, you need to understand what you're getting into. Like for me personally, when I do decide to pick a West African country that I want to start in, when I first go there, I'm not going to start a business immediately. I already did my research. When I get there, I at least want to spend time, just talk with the locals, really get acclimated to the culture, and then start asking certain business people that are going to be, my industry. It could be competitors, like kind of what they go through on an everyday basis, like where are their issues and stuff like that, so that, I want to spend 9 months doing that. And then when it's time for me to really get started, now I got the knowledge that I did online, and then I'm living there for like 9 months, roughly 9 months or whatever. and now I'm ready to go. Of course, there can always be hiccups and something else can change, but you know what? I mean, that's just business. That's how it is. And I mean, it's not for the faint of heart. If you're about that life and you built like that, then you're gonna be like, okay, just do your due diligence, and for the most part, you're gonna be fine. So number five, you are investing too much. Many people are investing most of their money early on. This is a huge mistake in Africa. You see, you haven't really tested the market in real time, which means that market dynamics and unforeseen challenges will only occur to you once you start producing and selling. If you have, however, invested most of your money already, it will be almost impossible to manage delays or any unpleasant surprises, and you will get many of those in Africa. I've seen too many making that mistake, and they were forced to close. Instead, start small with a very lean vision and a fraction of your available funds, no matter how much or how little money you have. Then test the market for at least a year and get real feedback from the marketplace. Test it for a year, okay, and get real feedback from the marketplace. This will allow you to make the right decision early on. Yeah, so you're not trying to rush in anything. Take your time. Do make sure what's the word I'm thinking? Basically, I mean, you just like what she's saying. You want to test it to make sure that you're not taking on too much risk, or you didn't account for one type of expense that can mess up on your margins. So you really want to take your time, just little by little, do experiments here and there to see if it's viable or not, and then if you feel comfortable and you're confident, then go for it. Number six, not having a strong product market match. You see an opportunity or have a great idea, but does that mean the market will buy from you? Most people are very broad in their offering, which never works. Instead, find a specific problem or gap for a specific segment of the market and provide a specific solution to that problem. The more specific you are, the better chance you have of selling. For example, instead of offering real estate services in Africa, offer single unit luxurious apartments in a crowd to investor networks in the US who are keen to quickly invest their money in their savings for a good return during a looming recession. That's a match. So basically, know your market, know your customer. Like, you should be able to tell how someone operates, how like you really want to get into the head of your market so that you can kind of predict what's their trigger points, what motivates them to buy, what motivates them to do something. Like I was saying earlier, it's psychology. It's all about in people's heads. So you don't come from your perspective. You try to understand what the other person is living through. This is why it's important to spend time in that country. And if you have an idea of something you want to start, spend time in that country and really see if it's really something that is an issue. Can it really add value to people? Yeah, I mean, you could find out that you had a business idea, you think it makes sense on your end, but once you're living there and you're spending some time there, you realize this is not it. This area, another area, should be the place that I start. So you really want to take your time with that. You're just trying to prove to yourself that this is solid. I tested from every angle. I see the risk. I see the competitor, like everything. You know how the people are thinking, the mindset. So that way you're not coming in foolish and naive. So then we have one last one. Not going high end. The spending power in Africa is increasing, but it's still comparatively very low. When you offer your products or services to the poor or the average middle class, your profit margins are tiny, which means you have to sell a lot in order to make reasonable profits. The problem, as a small business owner or as a small new business, you usually simply do not have the capacity to produce, sell, and deliver quantities. Instead, go high end. Sell to well-established businesses in Africa, the upper class consumer, or offer African products to the foreign markets. This way you can make great profits with just a few buyers. Your priority is to succeed. Only this way you can actually serve Africa. Later, when your business is running strongly, you can start catering to the mass market. So I'll say for that last one, obviously it depends on which industry you're in. If you're going to be doing services, it's going to be different. Of course, this is for products. Do your own research. I mean, it depends on what she's saying, if it makes sense or not. Of course, if you're really trying to do everyday products, you're not gonna. Most of the imports are from China in Africa, and I mean they do volume, so they can get amazing prices. So that's not going to be the best route to go if it's just everyday products. So I see what she's trying to say here is like, do create products that require a little bit more complexity. It's not just simple stuff. Maybe you need some manufacturing hands, like really like something that's just not basic, or has a type of perceived value where it makes people think, oh, this is not just regular stuff, this is a little bit more. So come up with products. Like if you're doing a product route, that's what it is. Services a little bit different. You're not creating a product or anything like that, but it really just comes down to human capital, the people that you're working, that's working in your organization. So it just depends, but you don't want to be a race to the bottom as far as your prices and try to make things cheap and stuff like that. No, make something that offers tremendous value to the marketplace where people are willing to spend, because there are spenders in Africa, just like everywhere else. And I mean, if you do the job right, then you're gonna find them. You're gonna figure out which ones are you going to be your best customers or not. So this was just 7 points that she talked about as far as a lot of African diasporas make when they try to do business in Africa. I think these are some good points. So let me know what your thoughts are. If you stumbled across some of these points, you made mistakes and you self-corrected, or if you have any type of experience that doing business over in Africa, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear it. Or if you don't agree with one of these points, let me know. I'll like to hear your perspective, and it's good enough, I'll try to respond to it as well if I got the time. So I hope this video was helpful. If you did find it enjoyable and very helpful in your own journey, then definitely like this video and share this video with someone else you think that would appreciate it. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to this channel so that I can cause this channel to grow a little bit more. I would really appreciate it. So until the next video, I'll catch you later.